Here's an old term. Action turns knowledge into wisdom. And the fires of creation is that process of action turning knowledge into wisdom. We all know, but until we do, it's not the experience and the understanding of the experience that it takes to understand it. The experiential situation is really what it is.
It's not about what you do and all of the things you create or don't create. It is truly about lifetime to lifetime endurance and gaining joy and happiness out of it. It's not about success. It is just about joy, happiness, and love.
Have you been finding yourself stuck in a rut, unable to launch your new projects, not getting the experiences you're looking out of your spiritual experiences? You're trying to start a business and running into troubles? I have special coaching sessions for you. Spiritual readings, Akashic records, healings, all those are available to you. I invite you to come and look at the different journeys that I've done in the live shows that I've done. I'm inviting you all to come on the journey, expand your life, expand your willpower, learn more about sovereignty. We also have the Living the Mystical Life monthly membership. It's a new relaunch of the system where you get all of our live webinars and get access to our Discord server for our live shows. Go to the website, andrewbartzis.com, for more information. Come and join our community, inviting you all to come on this journey as we expand to the universe of the Great Awakening. Welcome, everyone, to another adventure into reality. I'm your host, Andrew Bartzis, the Galactic Historian. I'd like to welcome each and every one of you to another live show. Today is a live call-in show for the first hour. The second hour, we will be moving to our members area. And if you want to be in the members area with all the additional content, the connectivity, the interconnectivity, and the private teachings that come with it, come and join my website, andrewbartzis.com, and sign up for the membership. We're also having our live event coming this August 9th through the 12th in Amity, Oregon. You go to my website, andrewbartzis.com/shop, and you will see all the information there for the event. All right, we are going to take our first caller. Brian, signal to unmute. Brian, are you there? Oh, you're unmuted, but I still can't hear you. You got to put a headset or something. Yeah, nothing. None of your audio is not coming through.
Okay, that sucks.
No, I can hear you now.
Oh, hey.
Look at you fixing it.
All right. Thank you for being patient. It's good to be here, Andrew.
Okay. So what do you want to talk about today?
I was wondering if you could look into any of my past life history as a wizard or magician.
Okay, for what reason?
That's kind of my path in this life right now. So I just kind of wanted to see what led me
to
where I am.
What exactly does that mean as your path?
Just who I am.
Do you practice on a regular basis that type of material?
Yes.
About how many hours a month do you do?
How many hours a month?
Yeah.
I would say total 10 hours a month. So maybe not as good as I should.
I know, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's dedicated.
Okay,
and what modalities do you use?
I do hermetic magic as well as Taoist internal alchemy.
Okay. Do you travel to places and spaces in your projections?
Well, I visualize. I'm not sure if I actually go anywhere, but I do visualize in my practices.
Okay. And what kind of successes have you had with your practices?
Hmm. I generally feel healthy. I I feel like I am becoming more in control of myself as well as my
Okay.
future.
So when people ask me about wizarding and shamaning stuff like this, the reason I ask these questions is there's a specific form of manifestation when you ask about skills, particularly from past lives, because we can summon skills to us from past lives, but we still must put significant effort into them. These are some of the past life skills that are available, but at the practice level that you're at right now, they're available level until you're at least 25 hours practice a month with clients moving through you at least 10 a month. Clients meaning subject matters and people you take on as an exchange for energy to do your practice.
Hmm.
And now this is a scale I use. This is just for me. There are certain people that get wisdom and do nothing with it. And then there are people who get wisdom and do too much something with it. And you fall into the latter. You will do too much with it. Does that make sense?
Yes, would it be too much good or too much bad?
Just too much in general, which will overload yourself and put you into out crash and burnout mode.
I see.
Okay? And potentially worse if you dabble into areas that stick with you for long periods of time. Essentially, this means you can't be a dabbler anymore. And if you, unfortunately, until you reach the higher level, that's just where it's at. I was a dabbler for the longest time until I had to dedicate. Now, past life things are directly influencing you right now. Card cheating. You ever cheated at cards?
Cheated at cards? No.
Yeah. Do you have a group of friends that can do a card night?
No.
Do you have groups of friends?
I have a very small group of friends, and they live in different places, so it'll be hard to get them together.
All right. Well, this is a people thing. So you ever seen 3-card Monty where they move the rock under the cups?
Yes.
That is a form of street magic. It's not all sleight of hand. Okay. So sleight of hand as a powerful magic for you. Now that means you can easily practice sleight of hand techniques, card tricks, all sorts of hand-eye coordination stuff. That would be something that could be very, very life-altering for you if you understood it as it came in the skin suit, not as a personal karma. There are personal gifts or energies or past life things. This is something that's solely from your lineage. Your mother and father, their mother and father, 25 generations back, all had that sleight of hand magic energy as part of their DNA skin suit.
Well, my father was a gambler. I'm not sure if he cheated or not, but it's possible.
Well, he could always just use his skills to stop others from cheating him. Okay? So it goes both ways. Okay, it's not always about ripping everyone off. It's the magic of. Okay. All right. So your father was a gambler. Good. All right. So the next thing I wanna connect with is hunting. Okay, you spent countless lifetimes in countless indigenous perceptions as a hunter. Okay, that's a solo hunter, a pack hunter, spear hunter, bow hunter, gun hunter, hunt, 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 hunt. Well, that would mean you need to go learn hunting skills, tracking skills. You would become ungodly good at it if you put serious dedication to it. And I said ungodly good, but it would become, a whole entire life change for you.
Definitely.
Including the killing and eating and harvesting of the animal. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. The third thing, Let me translate it the right way. So, how familiar are you with colors? Do you know the color wheel really good?
Barely, I think.
Okay, you've seen in video games where they want you to adjust your color settings in that pie chart, you know, that chart you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
All right, so I want you to think of the color directorate with language. It's something from your Lemurian times where words have color inside the negative space. The negative space outside could potentially have color or no color, which is a pattern of perception. And you were a color word encoder, which was very difficult for other chromiolog societies who were time travelers to read that specific text that was put on a specific piece of, you know, pad/technology that unless you understood the color code innately as a Lemurian, you would never be able to read the text. And it was a way to also prevent psychic remote viewers from trying to read the subject matter. It was a powerful counter-espionage tool. Which also means you can read the color of the sky, the clouds, and other things too. So it's not just that. It's like with words. Okay, that's all the only way I can describe it. You'd be a master translator of that.
That's interesting because I am aware of a certain system of magic that uses the colors and along with words, like vowel sounds.
There's many schools of magic.
Alphabets.
Yes, yeah. See, here for those things, you need to create spiritual experiments that, let's say, because you could just go and buy those little smoke bombs that they have for 4th of July. Mm-hmm. You can get ones that are red, that are yellow, that are green, that are blue, so on and so forth. And if you were to do it at night with a light on the ground, you'd have a greatly amplified experience. Does that make sense?
So just by the seeing the manifestation of the color that it's
a way to break the alchemy, come alive with frequency and vibration, and allows you to play in the physical manifestation and bring it to the ether to help start shaping it. Taking the energy of the environment, the color and the smoke, and you're bringing it to an apex point where you're taking this creative energy and that energy that's around you and shaping the ether for it to become real.
I see.
Okay. And then you make the transition from ether to reality. And that's where you generally ground the energy into a subject or an object, you know, and you create unique fetishes out of it, or you release it back to the wisdom of the universe after you learned the lessons with it.
So I translate the energy into my physicality. Is this?
Yeah. Yep.
And going back to the hunter aspect, is that why I have a certain talent for invisibility? I've noticed throughout my whole life.
Yes, you can just enter the shade realm, which is not shadow.
Yeah, because there's been many instances where I'm just standing there with a full group of people, and they're like, "Hey, where is he?"
Yeah,
I'm just like, "Oh, hey, I'm right
here." Yeah, but that's also part of your something out for people to forget you. It's a pheromone you put out.
So would that be more in line with my skin suit technology then?
No, that's something that's your personal, environmental, political, spiritual, physical, and emotional traumas manifested into a character flaw that's very difficult. You just ignored it too long and allowed the antisocial behavior to overtake regular social behaviors through isolation.
And I'm guessing this had to do with my childhood?
Yes.
Yep, that makes sense.
Okay. What happened in your childhood?
Maybe typical typical story. That parents fighting all the time in the house, not wanting to cause any more. I guess I didn't want to cause any more pressure or put any more pressure on them, as they're already having a bad time of it. So it kind of made sure I didn't cause any trouble, so to speak.
Where did you grow up?
In Texas.
Texas. And was it a small town or big town?
It's a big town.
Okay.
But I lived, I guess we lived in the suburbs more area.
Okay. But you could just get to the city if you needed to by bus?
Right, or driving there.
Yeah, okay. All right, so that is a specific form of generational trauma. The parents who argue all the time. Did they get violent?
Yes.
Okay. That right there is a trauma on you that if you intend to practice any of this material above what you're at right now, you have to deal with that. It will absolutely be used against you right out of the gate if you try to do any kind of advanced work.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And there are other traumas attached to that aren't about the violence. It's the nightmare realms you would go into afterwards, which I think you've pretty much blocked out, other than there were nightmares and I quickly forgot about them. Do you remember any nightmares?
I don't usually have many nightmares. I guess could be because what you're saying, I forget them.
What about when you were younger?
Younger, I had a few nightmares, yes. And there were a couple of times when I would go stay over at my aunt's house, which was, I guess, a haven, so to speak, from the chaos.
Right. That is when your mother and father were haunted by their own ancestral demons.
Mm.
Filling out the karmic negativity between them. That also has to be taken care of. These are all weaknesses in your fundamental frequency that, with the power of the ability to just blow out a candle, that's how weak your field is, even though it's bright of energy. It just can't sustain a hit. What do you do for a job?
I'm an astrologer.
How often do you do it?
I do it pretty much every day.
Like 10 clients a day, 5 clients a day?
Probably about a couple a week.
Okay, how do you survive on that?
I live with my family.
Okay. So 2 clients a week, is that success?
No, I could definitely do a lot better.
Okay. What other services can you do?
I could do healing, but that just never resonated with me to be a healer.
How old are you?
I am 40.
All right, I'm going to give you a recommendation. And you are failure to launch incarnate right now.
Mm-hmm.
I know that might be a little harsh, but you are literally failure to launch right now.
No, thank you for telling me.
Okay. And you need to launch. And you got to stop whatever has held you in place, whatever is holding you at not launching. You got to light the literal fuse in your own butthole. Okay. Mm-hmm. In today's society, for somebody who wants to get to work, being a healer is not the same perception as it was 15 years ago. Okay. A healer can be many things, from verbal to physical to emotional to astrological, etc. The single field of astrology that you have will never really make you money without significant investment into a website infrastructure and all the things attached with that. And that doesn't guarantee any actual real income to make a difference, because you have to compete against the entire other market.
All right.
Okay. Which means pie in the sky dreams can't happen. So my advice is you go and find a local school that does a massage therapy license for like 4 months or 6 months. And before you moan and groan, I'm not a healer, this opens you up to the business of magical practitioner. In the beginning, you will never be able to sell it as magical practitioner. Okay? You will sell it as healing body work, the modalities that you do, the specific things that you deal with. Eventually, you will build clientele because they know the density of your energy and your ability to get rid of problems within inside them. If you were to finish the 4-month class, pay off whatever debts you can because you have decided to go and get a job to pay for this stuff too, because your balance and bank account is where you will get your real growth. When there's money in the bank account and all the bills are paid and no one's nagging at you to get a job, until that's truly out of your frequency for a long period of time, you're going to remain fiscally irresponsible because of the chaos that goes on in the choice points that you make. So fiscal responsibility is absolutely vital for you. As you understand, this 4-month class requires this payment. If I can get the money for somebody, great, but I still need to go out and get a job, even if it's 1 day a week. And I have to put aside my astrology dreams because right now it isn't getting me anywhere. It is a skill I've learned. It will be with me the rest of my life. But for the next 6 months, I got to put it aside other than doing my own forecast for my own self. Is that clear?
Yes.
And the next thing is, what is your relationship with food?
I eat probably about once or twice a day.
Okay. Why?
Just don't feel a need for more than that.
All right. So that is a program inside you that's limiting your ability to have energy over extreme long periods of time without you going through emotional energy releases from your gut demanding you give it food when you're ignoring it. And you've increased the skill to ignore your gut saying, I need food, to the point where it strips the body of muscle all the time. Okay? And whenever you're in a body stripping muscle of its protein all the time, you create body-based depression, where the body is literally having a very difficult time generating and maintaining high frequency. Okay?
Should I double my intake then?
No, you need to start counting your proteins. 40 grams of protein every day, minimum. And then you have to figure out, you have no real job. You should be advancing your practicing concept and start to do regular rituals, regular ceremonies, regular magical practice as practice. Okay? You need to train the body to hold the high frequency so the puff of blow doesn't blow out the candle. Okay? You need to be a solid torch flame that 60-mile-an-hour winds aren't going to put out. That's what was required of the body, mind, and spirit as a complex being who becomes that type of practitioner. Okay? You can be overweight, you can be underweight, you can be whatever it is, as long as you maintain the body's need to not strip itself its own muscle of protein, and that you have regular water intake, vitamins, minerals, nutrients, that stuff is met over long periods of time with practice included, is where your skills, your daily practice really show you magic behind them, which is the part of the journey you're at. It's real, but you're right on the border of I need external validation versus I only need internal validation. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And once you get out of the need of external validation and whatever subtle programs that lure you out of your body and work on inner validation through the practices and experiences, is where you will get to the next level as a practitioner. And then to some of these skills like hunting, it costs nothing to learn it, but it does require somebody to help teach you to learn it. Okay? You can go to hunting classes. You can meet cool people. You can find out where to go and walk the land. Buying a gun is really simple. Okay.
Right.
Bow and arrow fishing is great. Okay. You can do that year round just about anywhere. That's probably one of the cheapest things to get into. For a $60 bow and arrow and with a fishing rig on it, you can go fish hunting with it.
Mm. Well, I do have a rifle, so that's taken care of.
Okay, what kind of rifle?
AK.
Yeah, you're not hunting with an AK.
Oh, I also have the 22.
You have a 22 long rifle?
Yes.
Okay, that will be okay. You're not going to deer hunt with that. Okay, but you can start hunting many other things with it first. Okay. Mm-hmm. So your 22 is a great thing to begin learning hunting with. Okay. But you also got to learn the trail knowledge. So start watching some of those YouTube videos on trail knowledge and then get out on the trails. Where did you say you lived at?
Texas.
You're in Texas. What part?
Houston.
All right. So Houston. How far is the ocean?
Probably about 5 hours away.
Okay, do you ever go to the ocean?
Not very much, no.
If you were to go, would you be able to for a day or two?
I could.
I think it's important that you go walk the coast. Like pick a beach that's got like a 2, 3, 4 mile beach and just walk it up and down. Go spend a half day walking at the beach. It will do tremendous for moving some of this stagnated philosopher energy inside you. You need motions of energy. The environment that you're in is static and unchanging and toxic to you. Did you have any other questions?
If I could ask one more question.
Sure.
I had an ex-lover who committed suicide in 2023, and I had no idea that happened until about 6 or 7 months later, and I had a feeling that I should look up her or see how she's doing, even though I hadn't thought about her in at least a decade or more.
Uh-huh.
And then that's when I went down the rabbit hole and I found out what happened to her.
Okay.
I was wondering if you could see how she is doing right now.
Oh, she's moved on with life. She's not intending to come back in for a very long time. But her soul was already on the journey of, I'm not going to come back in. I did these last set of lives out of respect for the soul families that I was with. But now I'm done. And until there's the shift completely, she's not planning to come in until the 3rd or 4th generation of change after our change begins. So she's gone on. She's back at her high levels and experiencing the wonders of the universe. And then she's basically checked out over here until she's ready to return time to come back.
Is she aware that I care for her?
Oh, yes. She's in the infinite state. And she was the one that actually sent you the impulse to look her up.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And on the day she died, Christmas Day, and on that same day, I felt an awful episode of nausea in the center of my gut. I never feel nausea or nauseous.
Well, that means you're psychically sensitive.
And was that due to her?
There was a connection between the two of you.
Mm.
Okay. Could she have been a really special person for you?
I think so.
What happened?
I was with someone else at the time.
Yeah.
And then when I reached out again, when I was available, she didn't want to, so which was fair.
Okay. Which is the nature of how human lives work. Were you supposed to meet in the fetus in the womb plan? Yeah. It didn't work out though. Okay. And then when it's time for her to pass on, that was a closing of that potential portal.
Mm.
What kind of exercise do you get?
I do a lot of push-ups and jumping jacks.
Why push-ups and jumping jacks?
They're simple and you can do them anywhere.
Okay. That's a very mono-thinking style of training.
True.
Is it because you're that closed up and you just use that as pushing away of the loud energies of the parents?
No, I don't think so. I generally just like to do them.
Okay. So you're really saying you don't do push-ups or jumping jacks to blot out whatever they're doing?
Well, my father's already dead. He passed away already, so
Okay.
no more of that.
No more meltdowns like that.
Right.
Okay. Does your mom burst in on you, or does she give you your privacy?
Privacy.
Okay. So part of your prescription is you need to socialize. You got to figure that out.
In person.
You don't just learn to be a practitioner. Practitioners have clients and customers. And you got to open that part of yourself up.
Is this more in person or can it also be online?
No, you're going to be doing in-person stuff. You could do some sessions online, but if you go and get a massage license, like I said, that gives you legal ability to do work on a person that can include many other modalities. Now, being a healer, as you said, you may have not had the call for it, but it's what you need right now to jumpstart your failure to launch right now. We got to hook some jumbo cables up to your nuts, okay? And we got to get the energy flowing through you very hard, and it's got to make a deep reaction. And classes like this will help because people work on you, you work on them, you learn all these techniques. It's a very difficult time to get through. But on the other side, you have all the license power to go and open up a shop, and you can use other, like I said, magical modalities to help clear out people, etc. Like in the beginning, you're not selling magical things. You're selling how good is your energy and is the capacity of a well-practiced energetic person, the type of energy practitioner to become is through the roof.
And it definitely needs to be this specific modality.
This massage school teaches you like 6 different modalities. It teaches you cranial sacral, teaches you myofascial, it teaches you deep tissue, soft tissue. You get a whole wide ranging techniques. And then you can specialize afterwards, which are just weekend classes that you go to. Hey, brother, I got to let you go. I've got another caller I got to get to before I go to the member show.
All right. Thank you so much, Andrew.
You're welcome. All right, Shayla, signal to unmute.
Hi, Andrew.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you?
Good. What's up with you today?
So I would like to have some information and a reading around my health.
Okay.
And also my career.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so tell me a little bit about yourself so I can tune in.
So I'm from Sydney, Australia. I'm 31 and I'm currently working as a bodywork massage therapist and energy healing. And I grew up with my grandparents and my mum. I met my dad when I was 15 and had a pretty intense relationship with my mum. And
what type of massage body work do you do?
I'm a light language. My light language is kind of what I use my bodywork with. So I wouldn't know how to specifically describe what I do.
Are you trained in a modality or are you self-trained?
So I was trained in normal massage therapy like 10 years ago. And then I have been attuned to Kundalini Reiki, and then another chi activation, which I don't actually use. And then my light language came online, and then it's been like just retuning through my light language.
About how many clients a week do you do?
About 20.
20 a week? Good job.
Yeah.
How long has that been going for now?
So working full time with that has been since November last year.
Wow, good run.
Yeah.
All
I've
right,
been
so
doing it for like a couple of years, but I haven't been doing it like consistently through there because I've been focusing on healing myself as well.
so tell me what's going on with your body.
So my whole left side feels like it just hurts, and my whole body feels like it hurts.
Okay.
Specifically my neck and my
Like
ovary.
a little bit more than it just hurts. Is it hurts with emotion, or it hurts
Yes.
and I'm hiding something about what it really hurts?
Okay, so my neck feels like it's definitely emotional. And then my ovary feels like I'm holding specifically my left ovary. It feels like I'm holding like multiple of people's pain in it.
Okay.
And that feels emotional as well, but that actually hurts physically too.
Okay. How tall are you?
5'8".
Do you like high heels?
No,
Do you wear platforms on your shoes?
no. So I also my left toe. It's from my left toe. I broke my left toe twice this life. And my foot is also like really out of whack.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Are you in a relationship?
Not right now.
When was the last time you were in one?
About 4 months ago, we broke up.
Why did you break up?
Because it was with a woman and I wanted to be with a man.
Okay. The times that you were with the woman, was it as same as the quality as the man, or was it a different quality?
It was a different quality.
And you decided that you actually wanted a man's energy instead of a woman's energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And what drove that decision?
I think sex. Like
Okay.
the intimacy of having a man's energy
Are you
rather
sure
than
the woman didn't know how to be the man and you guys traded spaces back and forth?
yeah, totally. Definitely.
Okay. All right. Any children in your life?
No.
All right. Do you see energy?
Yes, and feel.
All right. So I'm going to do a little technique with you. I want you to imagine that you are standing in front of you and that you pull out your wallet and you're giving yourself 300 Aussie dollars, $300 bills. And you're saying to yourself, I need help. I need you to scan me, help me understand what this energy is. I want you to see that money come into your hand, go into your energy wallet behind there, and feel it inside you. I just want you to clear yourself ready. And when you do your initial scan, like you would do on any client, what do you see about you?
So I see that there's energy around my head, my left side. There's almost feels like there's like an interference of my thoughts.
Uh-huh.
And then especially through my ear. And then it goes into like there's a plugging in the back of my my spine where my head is, and it actually feels like it goes into another space and time. And there's almost pardon.
I want you to take both of your hands and stick it inside your hair and get a firm hold of this thing that you see energy in your crown and your hair is just there to line you up to get it. And then you're going to pull it out of your crown chakra and let your hair rest back down. And I don't want you to let it go. I want you to look at it once you take it out of the crown chakra. It's like a wig on top of a wig. Yes. What does it tell you? What is its energy like?
It's very dense. It's very dense.
Is this energy yours or someone else's?
It's someone else's.
Okay, then you need to get rid of it. Send it to its home realm, and it can't come back. And now start pulling out of your hair, all over your crown, all over your head. Get as many of these clumps of hair extensions, fake wigs, whatever there. You got to pull them all out of your energy field in your upper body. And let me know when you're done pulling out the energy.
Oh.
You got a good one.
Yeah.
A lot of this is clients.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say a good 60% of it is fine.
Yeah.
Didn't think there would be that much there, did you?
Well, I listened to one of your other with another caller, and they did like with the hair, and I did it then, and I got all of this stuff out of my hair that I didn't realize was there. Obviously, I didn't do. Oh, that feels way better. Whew. Okay. Yeah.
I want you to go over your ovary now.
Yeah.
And I want you to put all your fingertips touching your thumb. Okay, that makes that pattern. And hover over your ovary and slowly open and close the fingers touching the thumb until you create a sucking action that's going to start pulling out needles from your ovary. And it's going to be 25, 30, maybe even 50 of these inky, blacky, weirdy, needly things coming out. Fluid will come out of it. Don't worry about the energy fluid. It's just there as a distraction. It's just the hard pieces that have to come out. You may feel like you have to throw up at times doing this. This is anti-demon work you did when you were on the table working on people.
What does anti-demon work mean?
Meaning you killed demons in the background, 2, 3, 5 degrees of separation, and their attack back to you would be poisoning.
Okay.
Poisoning your ovary so you couldn't procreate. You know people are haunted, right?
Yeah. I can feel it and I can see them.
Right, they may not be
see them.
Right, they may not be haunted where they're in front of you, but when they get home, they're haunted again.
Okay.
And sometimes our work like you, gets screwed up by these demons who jump back into the body, and then they make them go back to you and start watching you from a distance.
Okay.
Okay? That's what this energy coming out is.
So how do I, stop that?
This comes down to ancestral offerings and expanding your practice, which is, if I'm doing this volume of clients, I must have a home practice that is commensurate of this amount of clients.
Yeah.
And it must reflect in my price if I'm undercharging.
Yeah.
What do you charge?
So I actually work for someone else. So I'm a contractor. Okay. So I'm only getting $60 Australian dollars for my work, but the lady charges $135. And that's just my body work. When I do energy sessions, it's $150, which is still not the work that I do. It's still not equal exchange, and I feel it in my body.
Sure. But your best bet is to switch to 90-minute sessions.
Yeah.
Have you ever learned myofascial release?
No, but I know that I do it.
You need to go take the myofascial release classes.
Okay.
You're going to learn stuff about the fascia electricity that's going to blow your mind, and your specific skill set will work with it like two peas in a pod. It'll be absolutely perfect for you.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could start with a weekend class that gets you into level 1 and start incorporating it into your stuff right away. You can watch stuff online, but actually go to a class.
Okay.
And that's $140 an hour. Easy.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or you do 90-minute sessions. You're going to discover a lot of people can't get relaxed in that hour.
Yeah.
And your work is minimalized.
Yeah.
But there's more going on with your energies here. This isn't just client saturation. This is, have I reached the pinnacle of what I can do? This is what the energy inside of you is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Why have you got yourself to this point without bringing in anything new?
I feel like I'm scared.
Of what?
People's judgment.
That still matters to you now?
Yeah.
Why? It shouldn't matter to you at all.
So it feels like when I was little, my parents judged heaps of people, and the little version inside of me is scared that she's gonna get rejected.
By who?
Other people.
Has anyone rejected you for your doing the work you've done the last year?
Yes.
Okay. Did it hurt?
Yes.
Okay. Did you survive it?
Yes.
Did it ruin you?
No.
So why are you worried about it?
Yeah.
Okay. These are the irrational things our programs want us to engage in.
Yeah.
Okay. You really have to work on ignoring and letting go whatever it is about that subject matter. That's just mom and dad trauma left over.
Yeah.
Okay. You already had a very high success rate, averaging 20 clients a week. That's a lot of clients.
Yeah.
Okay. That puts you at a top practitioner level. That also means you need to have a private practice that's reflective of that.
Yeah.
What do you do for your own private practice?
So on Thursdays, I have like ceremonial days where I either go into nature or have like my own ceremonial days at my house. But this feels like it's a lot of like self-healing.
Yeah. So you threw a word I am in ceremony all day.
Not all day.
Okay. That's a little light workery and a little flowery, which generally means you're really only in the ceremonial frequency for very short periods of time, not extended periods of time.
Yeah.
You have to end that other practice. You need one long extended period of time holding the frequency, which is the same strength of frequency you would bring to a client, you bring to your own ceremony.
Okay.
So an hour and a half at a time. And you need to take control of the thing that kicks you out of your body so you're not an airy-fairy at the ceremonial table.
Yeah.
Running away and sitting down, running away and sitting down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you got to learn to do some serious energetic work on yourself during those times.
Okay.
Okay. What does a ceremony look like? Well, I think it's not just you going out in nature. It's you go out and do your nature walk. And when you come back, you've refreshed your body. You got yourself moving. And here's where you do something that puts alchemical energy into it. Okay. I like to tell people to do an outdoor fire. Would you be able to do one?
I don't know.
What about a barbecue grill?
I don't have one.
But you could get one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a little outdoor space that you could cook something on?
Yeah, I do.
That's all you need to start then. Okay. So your ceremony is going to be tending the heat of the coals. Okay. You can use charcoal bricks, and you're sending energy, just like you would send energy to a client. You're sending energy to those coals.
Yeah.
You could also pray over the bag of coals the week leading up to your ceremonial time. So there's always prayer energy in those bags of coals. Okay. And then once you get yourself hot and you've sent energy and you've really felt the surface of the heat and connected with that, you can start cooking something on it. And it doesn't matter what you're cooking. It could be vegetable skewers. It can be anything that you cook on a grill. Okay.
Yeah.
Preferably slower cook, so it gives you that hour of being present and sending energy, continuous energy to the coals, and for you to open up and what's called tell your story to the fire. Who are you? What are you? What have you gone through in life? What are the great lessons you've learned? And see it like a friend you haven't spoken to in forever and you want to tell them everything.
Yeah.
That's learning how to make fire your first shamanic experience. Okay, through the use of food, through the use of the creative prayer energy that going into at the time, and then culminating into telling your story. Most people cannot tell their whole story in the first couple ceremonies. It takes time, and sometimes you even got to prepare. Like, these are high school memories that I haven't thought about in forever, but I want to bring it up with the fire because there's good feeling in that for me. I want to show the fire more than just the bad shit I've been through. I'm not there to emotionally dump on the fire, but if I have to, not only can the fire handle my dense energy, it can help me burn it away.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, if you get something that has propane in it, propane is the focus of your prayer. If it's wood, whatever it is, you have a reserve of fuel, and that's what you're sending your prayer energy to. Okay?
Yeah.
And if you get that as a regular cycle, like let's say you say every Thursday, and you're gonna say, all right, I need to practice Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah.
Okay. So the couple day lead up, you're sending prayer to whatever the fuel source is going to be. Preparing the environment is very important. Okay. And how do you prepare the environment? The same way you would energetically clean your space.
Yeah.
Verbalize the removing of negative energies, asking the ancestrals to get in. As I told you before about ancestral offerings, once you learn to do ceremony, you can bring offerings to the fire that invites other positive ancestors to witness you telling your story, because you're sharing it in heartfelt joy, and then they share back through wisdom, inspiration, and dreams. And you can create offerings that you regularly give to the land on a regular basis, and that will lure more of the positive ancestors to help do your work in the astral world, where you don't have to be fighting everything all the time.
Yeah.
So you need to really pick up your practicing time. What's exercise like for you?
So it comes and goes. I bushwalk, and like the past 3 weeks I've really been like, okay, like I'm doing my yoga, not heaps. And then I've been doing weights, and that's really it.
So what's challenging you in finding balance with that? The amount of clients?
Yeah. And I feel tired.
Yeah, because you are tired. Do you have access to a swimming pool?
No.
So there's no community pools anywhere, places you could go and swim?
Oh, yeah. And I can go in the ocean.
Okay. It's important that you get swimming energy. The motion and weight of water is a powerful tool at pulling this negative shit out of you, especially like the stuff that was in your hair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That stuff's going to build up on you really fast with 20 clients a week. Mm-hmm. It's just background negative ectoplasm building up around us. Okay? Getting once a week, getting to the ocean, getting to a place where you can just dive into have that cold water feeling that shocks the body, and that shocking of the body breaks a lot of the static energies that are around you.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me?
So in my actual sessions, is there any way that like I can so what you're saying about like in my sessions, do you have any like feedback, or what is it that I actually am doing? I know that sounds really like weird, but like
you You waver back and forth between being a person that can weave an energy that sticks to somebody that can reach in and pull out, reach in and pull out, and then put in energy in mass scenarios. But because you waver between the two skills, you're not mastering either one, when you'd have to learn to master each one simultaneously. So you have all the potentials of being a healer at a very high level. The only thing that's holding you back is your adventure to practice more. You have a rigid outlook on how it's done. That rigid outlook is holding you back.
Okay, so how do I shift that?
You gotta put a note card up that says, try this on the feet, try this on the buttocks, try this on the shoulders. Okay, don't be all light touch. You have a massage background. There are times you will get more out of a firm grasp of the muscle area and then a slow pull out of the energy versus airy-fairy blowing on it.
Yeah, I know that. I've done that many times. It's like I can go into a specific pain and then like
Exactly.
precisely go into it and pull it out.
Neutralize it. Exactly.
Yeah.
You need to become more adept with that. And then the journey of you just saying, I can do it. Why am I beating around the bush?
Yeah.
Okay. And then create a new routine that helps you get into it right away. That's right now. You're not really trusting your diagnostic skills.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got to get in there. And most people that come with us, you're not going to be able to do enough work to fix them ever. Okay.
Yeah.
Just enough to give them quality of life back.
Yep.
That's the value of energy you've got to be able to assign to each set of clients. Why am I doing this whole routine that wastes all this energy? Let me just get into the deep and powerful skill sets so I can set the body up to receive it.
Yep. Okay. And then also like with what you were saying, is there anything like protection wise or anything like that I can assist myself in not having the attack afterwards, other than just the ceremony and like leveling up that practice?
They're not attacks.
Okay, cool.
This is something you're perceiving outside of time. When you're doing the work, you're actually fighting the demon, but you're always doing it in no time. And it's not technically you. It's a healer, high-frequency strand who was contracted to remove these energies and enforce a short period of time where it can't just jump back in. Okay? Because you know there are certain clients who reverse the healing. And there are other clients, they're part of their contract with you is you hold protective space over them while they're trying to integrate the healing.
Yeah.
And you have a collection of other powerful beings that work with you, but you don't actively work with them, call on them, and interact with them during your healing process.
Should I be?
Yes.
Okay, so how do I do that?
There should be an internal dialogue that talks about that why this hand position like this does this, and this does this, and this does this, and getting that internal dialogue flowing, where it's going to start opening up new hand positions for you to do that stack and move energy around and can overwhelm a negative experience in a body that's time-based. Like somebody that's been sexually abused, you can take it out of them as a section of time and replace some of the energy so they have a little bit stronger neural pathway to be in the body.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
So you need the narrator's voice of your totality experience of a healer. And I'll give it that term, the narrator's voice. Okay? The narrator is on your side. The narrator is not competing with you. The narrator is you, but it is a way to create the internal dialogue of multidimensional perceptive healing. That allows the other dimensions to say, if you were to put your hand here and hold that energy in this realm, it will be a much more massive release.
Yep.
Okay? You need to start trusting those voices and start working with them actively.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
All right, darling, I got to let you go. We've got to call
Thank you, darling.
today. It was great talking to you.
Great talking to you too.
You're welcome. Go out and have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, everybody, it is time for us to switch over to our members show. If you'd like to join us for the member show, you go to my website, andrewbartzis.com, and sign up.